On a dark, rainy night in March 2024, the world's most famous entrepreneur was driving home from another long day building rockets and electric cars. Elon Musk had no idea that a chance encounter on Highway 101 would lead to the most heartwarming story of his life. What started as a simple act of kindness toward a lost, shivering puppy would soon reveal a connection so incredible that even Elon couldn't have imagined it. This isn't just a story about rescuing a stray dog. It's about discovering that sometimes the universe has a plan more amazing than any human could design. That you're about to read the true story of how one small, wet puppy changed everything, and why the way Elon found him a perfect home will restore your faith in the magic that can happen when good people do the right thing. The rain hit Elon Musk's windshield like tiny hammers. It was March 15th, 2024, and the storm had come out of nowhere. One minute the California sky was clear, the next it was pouring so hard he could barely see the road ahead. His Tesla Model S moved quietly down Highway 101 near Palo Alto. The clock on the dashboard showed 11:47 p.m. It had been another long day at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne. The team was working on the next Mars mission, and there were always problems to solve. That Elon's phone buzzed on the passenger seat. Another message about tomorrow's Neuralink meeting. He would read it later. Right now, he just wanted to get home, to his house in Bel Air, and get some sleep. The rain got heavier. His wipers moved faster, squeaking against the glass. Traffic was light this late at night. Most smart people were already home, safe and dried up. That's when his headlights caught something. On the side of the road. At first, Elon thought it might be trash blown by the wind. But as he got closer, he saw it move. It was small and furry and sitting right next to the busy highway. What the? Elon said to himself, slowing down. It was a puppy. A tiny, soaking wet puppy sitting in the grass next to the road. Cars zoomed past it at 60 miles per hour, their headlights flashing over the small animal. Elon pulled his car onto the shoulder and stopped. He turned on his emergency flashers. Through his window, he could see the puppy more clearly now. It was golden-colored, maybe 3 months old. Its fur was dark with rainwater. It wasn't moving much, just sitting there like it was waiting for something or someone. This is crazy, Elon muttered, but he was already opening his car door. The rain hit him right away, soaking through his jacket. He walked carefully toward the puppy, his shoes splashing in puddles. He didn't want to scare it away. "Hey there, little guy," he called out softly. The puppy looked up at him. Even in the dark, Elon could see its eyes. They were brown and sad and very, very smart. This wasn't just any puppy. There was something special about the way it looked at him. "What are you doing out here?" Elon asked, getting closer. The puppy didn't run away. It just sat there, shivering, looking up at Elon like it had been waiting for him all along. Elon looked around. Maybe the puppy had fallen out of someone's car. Maybe its owners were looking for it right now. But the highway was empty except for the cars racing past. No one was stopped. No one was searching. He called out into the darkness. "Hello? Anyone missing a puppy?" Only the sound of rain answered him back. The puppy was shaking harder now. It was so small and wet. Elon couldn't leave it here. A car could. Hit it. It could get sick from the cold rain. It might not survive the night. "Come here, buddy," Elon said, kneeling down. The puppy stood up slowly. It walked right to Elon, like it trusted him completely. When Elon reached out his hands, the puppy didn't back away. Instead, it stepped closer. Elon picked up the small dog carefully. It was lighter than he expected, and so cold. The puppy's fur was soaked through to the skin, but it didn't fight or try to get away. It just settled into Elon's arms like it belonged there. "You're safe now," Elon whispered. He carried the puppy back to his Tesla, trying to shield it from the worst of the rain. When he opened the car door, warm air rushed out. The puppy seemed to relax a little. Elon set the puppy gently on the passenger seat. He grabbed a gym towel from his back seat and wrapped it around the small animal. The puppy looked up at him with those intelligent brown eyes and made a soft sound. Not quite a bark, more like it was trying to say thank you. "Where did you come from?" Elon asked. Starting the CAR.AS, he pulled back on a Highway 101. Elon glanced over at his unexpected passenger. The puppy was already looking warmer. It sat quietly on the seat, wrapped in the towel, watching everything with curious eyes. But there was something strange about this puppy. Something Elon couldn't quite figure out yet. The way it looked at him, the way it seemed to understand everything that was happening. It was almost like the puppy was studying him, like it knew something Elon didn't know yet, something that would change everything. Inside the warm Tesla, the puppy stopped shivering. Elon turned up the heat and reached into his gym bag for another towel. The small dog sat perfectly still as Elon gently dried its wet fur. "There we go," Elon said softly. "Much better." As the puppy dried off, Elon could see it more clearly. It was beautiful, golden fur with white patches on its chest and paws. Its ears were soft and floppy, but it was the puppy's eyes that amazed Elon the most. They were the smartest eyes he had ever seen on a dog. The puppy watched Elon's every move. When Elon spoke, it tilted its head to one side like it was really listening. Not just hearing sounds, but actually understanding what Elon was saying. "You're not like other puppies, are you?" Elon asked. The puppy made a soft whimpering sound. It almost sounded like it was trying to answer him. Elon started driving toward his home in Bel Air. But first, he needed to make sure the puppy was okay. There was an animal hospital in West Hollywood that stayed open all night. Dr. Sarah Chun worked there. She was one of the best vets in Los Angeles. The puppy sat quietly on the passenger seat during the drive. It didn't try to chew anything or jump around like most puppies would. Instead, it watched the city lights go by through the window. Sometimes it would look over at Elon, like it was checking to make sure he was still there. "Don't worry, little guy," Elon said. "I'm not going anywhere." The animal hospital was bright and clean. Dr. Chun was a small woman with kind eyes and gentle hands. She had been taking care of animals for 20 years. "Found him on Highway 101. Elon explained as Dr. Chun lifted the puppy onto the exam table. He was just sitting there in the rain. Dr. Chun checked the puppy carefully. She looked in his ears and mouth. She listened to his heart with her stethoscope. She felt his legs and belly to make sure nothing was broken. The puppy stayed calm through the whole exam. Most puppies would be scared in a strange place with a stranger touching them. This one seemed to understand that Dr. Chun was trying to help. "No collar, no tags," Dr. Chun said, running a special scanner over the puppy's neck. "No microchip either. But he's healthy. A little thin, like he hasn't eaten much lately. I'd say he's about 12 weeks old." "Any idea what kind of dog he is?" Elon asked. "Golden Retriever mix, probably. Someone took good care of him before he got lost. His teeth are clean. His coat is nice. He's been socialized well with people." Dr. Chun gave the puppy a small treat. He took it politely and wagged his tail. "He's very well behaved," she said. "Most puppies this age are wild and crazy. This one has perfect manners." "Yeah, I noticed that too," Elon said. "He's different." Dr. Chun nodded. "Some dogs are just special. They seem to understand the world better than others. This little guy has that look." She was right. There was something in the puppy's brown eyes that seemed almost human, like he was thinking about things in a way that most dogs couldn't. "What should I feed him?" Elon asked. "Puppy food, of course. But for tonight, some plain chicken or rice will be fine. Make sure he has plenty of water. And keep him warm." Back at his house, Elon set up a bed for the puppy in his kitchen. He used soft blankets and put out bowls of water and food. The puppy ate gratefully, then curled up on the blankets. Elon sat in a chair nearby, watching the small dog settle in for the night. The puppy looked up at him one more time before closing his eyes. It was like he was saying thank you without words. But as Elon got ready for bed himself, he couldn't stop thinking about those intelligent eyes. There was something about this puppy that reminded him of something important. Something he couldn't quite remember yet. Something that would soon reveal a connection more amazing than Elon could ever imagine. The next morning, Elon woke up to find the puppy sitting quietly by his bedroom door. Not whining or scratching like most dogs would, just waiting patiently for Elon to wake up. "Good morning, buddy," Elon said, stretching. "Sleep well." The puppy wagged his tail and made a soft sound that almost sounded like yes. After breakfast, Elon sat at his computer with the puppy curled up beside his chair. He opened Twitter and started typing. "Found this little guy on Highway 101 last night. Anyone missing a golden retriever puppy? He's safe and well cared for. Hashtag lost puppy, hashtag golden retriever." He added a photo of the puppy sitting in his kitchen, looking directly at the camera with those intelligent brown eyes. Within minutes, the post had hundreds of likes. People started sharing it right away. Soon it had thousands of replies. "So cute. Hope you find his family. I lost my dog last week. This isn't him." but I hope someone finds my Max. What a beautiful puppy. Lucky he found you. If no one claims him, I'll take him. But nobody said they were missing this particular puppy. Elon read every single reply, hoping to see someone say, "That's my dog." It never came. Elon had meetings at the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin that day. He couldn't bear to leave the puppy alone at home. What if he got scared? What if he thought Elon had abandoned him too? "Want to come to work with me?" Elon asked. The puppy's tail wagged harder, like he understood and was excited about the idea. At the Tesla factory, workers gathered around to meet Elon's new friend. The puppy greeted everyone politely, sitting when people petted him and staying close to Elon's side. "What's his name?" asked Maria Santos, one of the factory supervisors. She had 3 dogs at home and loved all animals. "I don't know yet," Elon admitted, still hoping to find his real family. "He acts like he's been trained," Maria said, watching the puppy sit perfectly still while people took pictures. Someone spent a lot of time teaching him manners. The puppy explored the factory floor with curiosity. He sniffed at the big machines and watched the workers building cars. But he never wandered far from Elon. It was like he understood this was an important place where serious work happened. During lunch, Elon made phone calls to animal shelters around Palo Alto and San Francisco. "Any reports of missing golden retriever puppies?" he asked each one. "No, sorry. We'll call you if anyone reports one missing. Haven't had any golden retriever puppies brought in lately. We'll keep your number. If the owners call us, we'll let them know." Every call was the same. No one was looking for this particular puppy. After work, Elon drove to several coffee shops and parks near where he had found the puppy. He put up flyers with the puppy's photo and his phone number. "Found, golden retriever puppy. Found on Highway 101 near Palo Alto on March 15th. Very friendly and well-trained. Call if this is your dog." The puppy came with him to every stop. People stopped to admire the beautiful dog and ask about his story. Everyone agreed he was special. "Such intelligent eyes," said an old man at Starbucks. "Reminds me of my dog when I was a kid. Some dogs are just smarter than others." "He's gorgeous," said a woman at the park. "Whoever lost him must be heartbroken." Days went by. Elon's phone rang several times, but it was always people wanting to adopt the puppy, not people who had lost him. "Is he still available?" they would ask. "We'd love to give him a home." But Elon kept hoping the real owners would call. Meanwhile, the puppy became part of Elon's daily routine. He went to Tesla meetings, SpaceX planning sessions, and even sat quietly during video calls. Everyone at both companies fell in love with the friendly, smart little dog. "He's like your shadow," said Gwynne Shotwell, SpaceX's president, during a meeting about the Mars mission. "And look how he watches everything. It's like he understands what we're talking about." She was right. The puppy seemed especially interested. When they talked about rockets and space travel, his ears would perk up and he would tilt his head, listening carefully. "Maybe he wants to be an astronaut," joked Tom Mueller, one of the rocket engineers. Everyone laughed, but Elon noticed how the puppy's eyes seemed to brighten at the word astronaut. 2 weeks passed. No owner came forward. Elon was getting more attached to the puppy every day, but he knew his crazy schedule wasn't fair to a young dog. The puppy deserved a real family with time to play and train him properly. That's when something happened that would change everything about what Elon thought he knew about his furry friend. It happened on a Tuesday night, 2 weeks after Elon found the puppy. Elon was working late in his home office, trying to solve a difficult problem with the Neuralink brain chip design. The puppy slept on a soft cushion nearby, like he always did when Elon worked. The clock showed 11:30 p.m. Elon rubbed his tired eyes and stared at his computer screen. He had been working on the same problem for hours. The brain chip needed to connect with nerve signals in a special way, but something wasn't working right. "I wish I could figure this out," Elon said to himself. Frustrated, that's when the puppy opened his eyes. The small dog stood up and walked over to Elon's desk. He put his front paws on Elon's leg and looked up at the computer screen. Then he did something that made Elon's heart skip a beat. The puppy started making specific sounds, not random barks or whines. These were purposeful noises, like he was trying to communicate something very important. "What is it, boy?" Elon asked softly. The puppy looked at the screen, then at Elon, then back at the screen. He lifted his right paw and tapped it on the desk 3 times. Then he paused. Then he tapped twice more. Tap, tap, tap. pause, tap, tap. Elon stared in amazement. He had worked with artificial intelligence for years. He knew smart behavior when he saw it. This puppy was trying to tell him something. Are you trying to help me? Elon whispered. The puppy made a soft sound that almost sounded like yes. Then, he did the tapping pattern again. 3 taps, pause, 2 taps. Suddenly, something clicked in Elon's brain. The pattern the puppy was showing him reminded him of something. Neural pathways in the brain often worked in patterns. What if the brain chip needed to send signals in groups instead of all at once? Elon turned back to his computer and started typing. He changed the code to make the chip send signals in the same pattern the puppy had shown him. 3 signals, pause, 2 signals. Then repeat. It worked. The computer screen lit up with successful test results. The brain chip design that had been broken for weeks was suddenly working perfectly. You did it, Elon said, turning to look at the puppy. You actually helped me solve it. The puppy wagged his tail and made a happy sound. But his brown eyes held that same intelligent look, like he knew exactly what he had done. Elon worked through the night with the puppy beside him. Every time Elon got stuck on a problem, the puppy seemed to sense it. Sometimes he would walk to a different part of the room, like he was showing Elon to think about the problem from a new angle. Other times he would bring Elon a toy or his water bowl, like he was saying, take a break. By morning, Elon had made more progress on Neuralink than he had in months. All because of help from a stray puppy. You're not just any dog, are you? Elon said, scratching behind the puppy's soft ears. The puppy looked up at him with those wise, brown eyes. For a moment, Elon could swear he saw deep understanding there. Real, human-like understanding. During breakfast, Elon watched the puppy eat. Even the way he ate was different from other dogs. He took small, neat bites. He didn't make a mess. He seemed to think about each bite before taking it. Where did you come from? Elon asked. And how did you get so smart? The puppy finished eating and sat down in front of Elon. He tilted his head to one side, like he was listening to a question he wished he could answer. That afternoon, Elon brought the puppy to SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne. During a meeting about rocket engines, something amazing happened again. The engineers were stuck on a problem with fuel flow. They had been working on it for days. The puppy was lying quietly under the conference table, but Elon noticed his ears perk up when they started talking about the problem. The puppy got up and walked to the whiteboard where the engineers had drawn their designs. He sat down and looked up at the drawings. Then he walked to a different spot and sat down again. Look where he's sitting, said Dr. Lisa Park, one of the rocket scientists. That's exactly where we need to add another fuel line. The engineers looked at each other in amazement. The puppy had pointed them to the exact solution they needed. That's impossible, said another engineer. Dogs don't understand rocket science. But this dog did. Somehow, this puppy understood things that most people couldn't understand. That night, Elon made a decision. He couldn't give this puppy away. The bond between them was too strong. The puppy wasn't just a pet. He was a partner, a friend, maybe even a genius in his own way. But Elon still didn't know the most incredible part of the puppy's story. The truth about where he came from and why he was so amazingly smart was still waiting to be discovered. 3 weeks had passed since that amazing night when the puppy helped Elon solve the Neuralink problem. Every day, Elon grew more attached to his smart companion. But deep down, he knew he had to make a hard choice. Elon's life was crazy busy. He traveled to different cities almost every week. Some days he worked 18 hours straight. Yesterday, he had flown to Texas for Tesla meetings, then to Florida for a SpaceX rocket launch, then back to California for Neuralink tests. All in one day. The puppy had stayed home alone with Elon's housekeeper, Mrs. Garcia. When Elon got back that night, the puppy was waiting by the front door. His tail wagged with joy, but Elon could see sadness in those intelligent brown eyes. You missed me, didn't you, buddy? Elon said, kneeling down to pet him. The puppy licked his face and made soft whimpering sounds. It was clear he didn't like being left alone for so long. That night, Elon sat in his home office thinking. The puppy slept on his cushion nearby, but he kept opening his eyes to check that Elon was still there. You need a real family, Elon said quietly. People who can be with you every day. Kids to play with. A backyard to run in. I can't give you that. The puppy's ears twitched like he understood every word. Elon knew this puppy was special. It couldn't go to just anyone. It needed a family that would appreciate how smart it was. People who would give it the love and attention it deserved. Then Elon remembered meeting Dr. James Rodriguez and his family at a Tesla event in Los Angeles last year. Dr. Rodriguez worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena. His wife, Elena, was a veterinarian who loved animals more than anyone Elon had ever met. They had 2 children, Maya, who was 10 years old, and Carlos, who was 8. Elon remembered how polite and kind the kids were. They had asked smart questions about rockets and space travel. During that event, Elena had mentioned they were looking for a dog. Their old golden retriever, Cosmos, had died 6 months earlier from cancer. The whole family was still sad about losing him. "We want to get another dog," Elena had said, "but it has to be the right one. Cosmos was so special. We don't want just any dog. We want one that needs us as much as we need him." At the time, Elon had nodded politely and changed the subject to talk about Tesla cars. But now, those words seemed important. The next morning, Elon found Dr. Rodriguez's phone number and called him. "Mr. Musk, what a surprise," Dr. Rodriguez said. "How can I help you?" Elon explained about finding the puppy and how amazing he was. He told Dr. Rodriguez about the puppy's intelligence and how he seemed to understand complex things. "He sounds incredible," Dr. Rodriguez said. "Elena and the kids have been asking about getting a dog again. We've been waiting for the right one. Would you like to meet him?" Elon asked. "I think he might be perfect for your family. We'd love to. Elena will be so excited. And Maya and Carlos have been begging for a puppy every single day." They made plans for the Rodriguez family to visit that Saturday. Elon spent the rest of the week getting nervous. What if the puppy didn't like the family? What if they didn't understand how special he was? What if Elon was making a terrible mistake? On Friday night, Elon sat on his couch with the puppy curled up next to him. He tried to explain what was going to happen. "Tomorrow, you're going to meet a really nice family," Elon said, stroking the puppy's soft fur. "They have kids who will play with you every day. And a mom who's a doctor for animals, just like Dr. Chun. She'll take great care of you." The puppy looked up at him with those wise brown eyes. He seemed to understand that something big was about to change. "I'm going to miss you so much," Elon whispered. "But this is what's best for you. You'll see." Saturday morning came too quickly. At exactly 10 a.m., a blue Honda minivan pulled into Elon's driveway. Through the window, Elon could see 2 excited kids pressing their faces against the glass. Dr. Rodriguez got out first. He was a tall man with kind eyes and graying hair. Elena was smaller, with a warm smile that reminded Elon why he had thought of their family. Maya and Carlos jumped out of the van and looked around with wide eyes. They had never been to a house this big before. "Where's the puppy?" Maya asked immediately. "Can we see him now?" Carlos added. Elon smiled. These kids were going to love his special friend. And hopefully, the puppy would love them back. But as they walked toward the backyard where the puppy was waiting, Elon had no idea he was about to witness something that would reveal the most amazing secret of all. The puppy sat in the middle of Elon's backyard, looking like he was waiting for something important to happen. When the gate opened and the Rodriguez family walked in, something magical occurred right away. Maya and Carlos stopped walking and stared at the beautiful golden puppy. The puppy looked back at them with his intelligent brown eyes. For a moment, nobody moved or spoke. Then the puppy did something amazing. He walked slowly toward the children, sat down right in front of them, and gently placed one paw on Maya's shoe. It was like he was saying hello in the most polite way possible. "Oh my gosh," Maya whispered. "He's perfect." Carlos knelt down and held out his hand. The puppy sniffed it carefully, then licked Carlos's fingers. His tail started wagging, so hard his whole body wiggled with happiness. "He likes us," Carlos said with a huge smile. Elena watched with professional eyes as the puppy interacted with her children. As a veterinarian, she could tell a lot about a dog from how it behaved. This puppy was special. He was gentle with the kids, but confident. Friendly, but not wild. Smart, but not pushy. "What's his name?" Maya asked Elon. "I never named him," Elon said. "I kept hoping his real family would come get him. But I guess you're his real family now." Dr. Rodriguez walked around the yard with the puppy following beside him. The dog stayed close, but didn't jump or beg for attention. He just walked calmly, like he was showing good manners. "He's incredibly well behaved," Dr. Rodriguez said. "Most Puppies would be running around crazy in a new place. That's what I thought too, Elon agreed. He's always been different, smarter than any dog I've ever met. The family spent 2 hours in Elon's backyard. Maya threw a tennis ball, and the puppy brought it back every time. Carlos taught him to sit and shake hands, which the puppy learned in just 5 minutes. Elena examined him gently and declared him perfectly healthy. We'd love to take him home, Elena said finally. If you're sure about this. Elon looked at the puppy playing with Maya and Carlos. The dog looked happier than Elon had ever seen him. His tail hadn't stopped wagging since the kids arrived. I'm sure, Elon said, even though his heart felt heavy. He belongs with your family. But then something happened that surprised everyone. As the Rodriguez family got ready to leave with the puppy, he suddenly ran back to Elon. He sat at Elon's feet and looked up at him with those wise brown eyes. The puppy made a soft whimpering sound, like he was trying to say something important. What is it, boy? Elon asked, kneeling down. The puppy licked Elon's hand once, very gently. Then he walked back to Maya and Carlos. It was like he was saying, thank you for saving me, and goodbye at the same time. He'll never forget you, Elena said softly. Dogs remember the people who are kind to them. We'll take great care of him, Dr. Rodriguez promised. And you can visit anytime you want. Maya had an idea. Maybe he can visit you too. Dogs like car rides, right? Elon smiled. These were good people. The puppy would be loved and happy with them. The Rodriguez family decided to name the puppy Nova, like a bright star that appears suddenly in the sky. It seemed perfect for a dog who had appeared out of nowhere on a dark, rainy highway. Nova settled into his new home in Pasadena quickly. The house had a big backyard with grass and trees. Maya and Carlos played with him every day after school. Elena made sure he got the best food and took him for regular checkups. Dr. Rodriguez took him on long walks through the neighborhood. But Nova continued to show his unusual intelligence in his new home. He learned his name in one day. He was house-trained in less than a week. He learned to open doors by watching Maya do it once. When Elena called him for dinner, he would run to his food bowl immediately. It's like he really understands what we're saying, Maya told her parents. One evening, all smart dogs understand some words, Elena said. But privately, she was amazed by Nova's abilities too. Nova became famous at Maya's elementary school. When Elena picked up the kids, other parents would gather around to meet the beautiful, well-behaved dog. He's the smartest dog I've ever seen, said Mrs. Patterson, Maya's teacher. Look how he sits so quietly and watches everything. It's like he's studying all of us. Nova went everywhere with the Rodriguez family. To Carlos's soccer games, where he sat on the sidelines like he was following every play. To the grocery store, where he waited patiently in the car. To family picnics in Griffith Park, where he played perfectly with other dogs and children. Dr. Rodriguez started bringing Nova to work sometimes at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The scientists and engineers were fascinated by the dog's calm behavior during meetings. That dog understands rocket science better than some people, Dr. Lisa Park joked after Nova sat quietly through a 3-hour meeting about Mars missions. But Nova never forgot Elon Musk. Sometimes, when the family drove past Tesla stores or saw SpaceX rocket launches on TV, Nova would perk up and pay close attention. His ears would stand up and his tail would wag, like he was remembering something important. 6 months passed. Nova grew bigger and more beautiful. His golden fur gleamed in the California sunshine. Everyone who met him agreed he was the most intelligent dog they had ever seen. Then one day in December, something happened that would finally reveal the incredible truth about Nova's past. It was December 10th, 2024, 9 months after Elon found Nova on Highway 101. Dr. Rodriguez opened an important-looking envelope that had arrived in the mail that morning. "Elena, look at this," he called to his wife. "We got invited to a special event at SpaceX headquarters." Elena read the invitation over his shoulder. NASA was partnering with SpaceX on a new Mars mission. Because of Dr. Rodriguez's work at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, their whole family was invited to the announcement ceremony. "Can we bring Nova?" Maya asked when she heard about the event. He loves car rides, and he gets so excited when he sees anything about rockets on TV. Dr. Rodriguez looked at Elena. Nova had been to many work events before and was always perfectly behaved. "I don't see why not. The invitation says families are welcome." "Please, Dad," Carlos begged. Nova would love to see where rockets are built. Elena smiled. Okay, but Nova has to be on his best behavior. The day of the event, the Rodriguez family dressed up nicely. Elena put Nova's special collar on him, the red one with his name tag that sparkled in the light. Nova seemed to sense this was an important day. He sat extra still while Elena brushed his golden fur until it shined. The drive to SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne took an hour through Los Angeles traffic. Nova sat quietly in the back seat between Maya and Carlos, looking out the window at the passing scenery. When they arrived at the SpaceX facility, Nova's ears perked up immediately. The building was enormous, with huge rockets and spacecraft visible through giant glass windows. Scientists, engineers, and space enthusiasts filled the main hall. Wow, Maya said, looking around with wide eyes. This place is amazing. Nova walked calmly beside the family as they looked at displays of rocket engines and satellite models. But something was different about the way he moved. His head was up and alert, like he was looking for something specific. Dr. Rodriguez joined a group of NASA scientists near a display about the Mars mission. Elena took pictures of the kids standing next to a model rocket. Nova stayed close to Maya, but his brown eyes kept scanning the crowded room. Then Maya spotted someone familiar across the hall. "Mom, isn't that the man who found Nova?" she asked, pointing toward a group of people near the main stage. "The one from all the pictures online?" Elena looked where Maya was pointing. There was Elon Musk, talking with a group of NASA officials and SpaceX engineers. He looked exactly like he did in the photos and videos they had seen on the internet. "Yes, that's him," Elena said. "Should we go say thank you?" Before anyone could answer, Nova made the decision for them. The moment Nova saw Elon, something incredible happened. The dog stopped walking and sat perfectly still. He looked directly at Elon across the crowded room and made a soft sound. Not quite a bark, but a gentle woof that sounded almost like he was saying hello. Even though there were hundreds of people talking and moving around, Elon heard that sound. He turned around slowly and looked across the room. When Elon's eyes met Nova's, time seemed to stop. That a huge smile spread across Elon's face. "Nova," he called out loudly. The beautiful golden dog pulled gently on his leash, leading the Rodriguez family through the crowd toward Elon. People stepped aside to watch the amazing reunion happening right in front of them. When Nova reached Elon, he jumped up and put his front paws on Elon's chest, just like he used to do when he was a tiny puppy. Elon hugged him like an old friend he hadn't seen in years. "You remember me, don't you, boy?" Elon said, his voice full of happiness. Nova licked Elon's face and wagged his tail so hard his whole body wiggled with joy. He made excited whimpering sounds, like he was trying to tell Elon everything that had happened since they last saw each other. The Rodriguez family caught up, all of them smiling at the beautiful scene. "Mr. Musk," Dr. Rodriguez said, reaching out to shake hands. "We can never thank you enough for finding Nova. He's brought so much happiness to our family. Look how big and healthy he is," Elena added. "You made the perfect choice that rainy night." Maya and Carlos stood proudly next to Nova, beaming as other people at the event gathered around to watch the reunion. Everyone could see how much love there was between Elon and the dog he had rescued. "He's grown so much," Elon said, kneeling down to Nova's level. "And look how loved he is. This is exactly what I hoped would happen." Nova sat between his adopted family and the man who had saved him, looking back and forth like he was the happiest dog in the world. His golden fur gleamed under the bright lights of the SpaceX facility. But then Dr. Rodriguez said something that would change everything they thought they knew about Nova's story. "Mr. Musk, there's something incredible we discovered about Nova. Something we need to tell you that will blow your mind." Elon looked up with curiosity. "What do you mean?" Elena discovered it when she was updating his medical records. Dr. Rodriguez continued. "What we found out about Nova's background is absolutely amazing. You're not going to believe where he really came from." The crowd around them grew quiet, sensing something important was about to be revealed. Elena pulled out a folder from her purse with shaking hands. Everyone around them leaned in closer to hear what she was about to say. "Mr. Musk," Elena began, "when I was updating Nova's medical records last month, I decided to do a special genetic test. I wanted to know more about his breed and health history." Elon looked puzzled but interested. Nova sat quietly between them, his intelligent brown eyes looking back and forth like he understood something important was happening. What we found was impossible to believe, Dr. Rodriguez continued. So we had the test done again by 2 different labs. The results were exactly the same both times. Elena opened the folder and handed Elon several sheets of paper. According to his DNA, Nova isn't just any golden retriever mix. He comes from a very special bloodline that most people don't even know exists. Elon read the first page, and his eyes grew wide with amazement. "This can't be real," he whispered. "That's exactly what we said," Elena replied. "But look at the official lab stamps. These results are completely accurate." The genetic test showed that Nova was descended from a famous line of dogs that were part of the early space program in the 1960s. These weren't ordinary pets. They were specially bred and trained dogs that helped test equipment and procedures for human space travel. His great-great-grandfather was actually one of the test dogs for the Apollo program, Dr. Rodriguez explained to the amazed crowd. These dogs were bred for superintelligence, staying calm under pressure, and forming strong bonds with humans. Elon stared at Nova with completely new understanding. That explains everything. His intelligence, the way he seemed to understand my Neuralink work, how calm he stayed in stressful situations. "But there's more," Elena said, turning to another page in the folder. "We contacted the genetic testing company to learn more about his family tree. Only about 50 dogs in the entire world carry these exact genes. They're incredibly rare and valuable, not for money, but for what they represent." Maya and Carlos listened with their mouths open. Their Nova was descended from space dogs who had helped send people to the moon. These dogs were part of history. Dr. Rodriguez continued. They tested space suits, spacecraft seats, and communication equipment. Some of them even went into space before humans did. An older man in the crowd stepped forward. "I'm Dr. William Chun, retired from NASA," he said. "I worked with those space program dogs in the 1960s. They were the smartest, bravest animals I ever met. If this dog carries their genes, he's truly special." But Elena wasn't finished with her incredible story. "We also found out how Nova ended up on Highway 101 that night," she said. "It took weeks of detective work and phone calls to breeders all over California." She explained what they had discovered through careful research. Nova had been born at a special breeding facility in Northern California that works with universities to study animal intelligence. The facility only bred a few puppies each year from the space program bloodline. When Nova was 8 weeks old, a family from San Francisco had adopted him. They were driving home from the breeding facility on March 15th when their car broke down on Highway 101 during that terrible rainstorm. The family, the Johnsons, got out safely and called for help, Dr. Rodriguez continued. But in all the confusion with the storm and the tow truck arriving, Nova's travel carrier door came loose. He slipped out and ran into the darkness. The Johnson family had searched for hours in the rain, calling Nova's name and looking everywhere. But the scared puppy had wandered miles away from where he got lost, ending up exactly where Elon found him hours later. "They posted missing dog flyers for weeks," Elena said. "They called every animal shelter in 3 counties. But Nova had traveled so far from the accident site that nobody connected him to their missing puppy reports." The crowd listened in complete silence, amazed by the incredible chain of events. "The Johnsons never stopped hoping someone kind would find Nova," Dr. Rodriguez added. "When we contacted them through the breeding facility, they cried with happiness to know he was alive and loved." Elon knelt down and looked directly into Nova's wise brown eyes. "So you're a space dog, huh? No wonder you were so interested in my rocket work." Nova wagged his tail and licked Elon's hand, like he was confirming the amazing story. "The Johnson family wants to meet Nova and see how happy he is with us," Elena said. "But they completely agree that he belongs with our family now. They just want to know he's safe and loved." "And he definitely is," Maya said, hugging Nova tightly. "He's the best dog in the whole universe," Carlos added with excitement. Elon stood up, his heart full of emotion. "This is the most incredible story I've ever heard. A space dog descendant, lost in a storm, found by someone who works in space technology, and adopted by a family where the father works on space missions. It's like the universe planned the whole thing." "Maybe it did," Elena said softly, smiling. The crowd around them had grown to include dozens of SpaceX and NASA employees. Everyone was taking pictures and asking questions about Nova's amazing heritage. Nova handled all the attention like the professional space dog descendant he was, sitting calmly and letting people pet him. "There's one more thing we'd love," Dr. Rodriguez said to Elon. "We want you to always be part of Nova's life. The kids talk about you all the time. You'll always be the hero who saved him. And maybe Nova can visit you sometimes." Maya asked hopefully. He gets so excited whenever he sees SpaceX launches on TV. Elon's smile was brighter than a rocket launch. "I would love that more than anything. Nova will always have a special place in my heart. And knowing his incredible heritage makes our connection even more amazing." As the evening continued, Nova sat proudly between his adopted family and the man who had saved him. His tail wagged happily as people came over to meet the famous space dog. He was surrounded by people who loved him and finally understood just how special he really was. The lost puppy who had been found on a dark, rainy highway had revealed himself to be a descendant of space exploration heroes. He had found not just a loving home, but his true purpose, connecting the worlds of space exploration, human kindness, and the incredible bonds between people and animals. Sometimes the most amazing stories are the ones that seem too incredible to be true, but turn out to be more wonderful than anyone could have ever imagined. That was the end of this incredible story about Elon Musk, Nova, and the amazing power of kindness. We'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop a comment below and tell us what city or country you're in. It's always wonderful to connect with viewers from around the world. If this heartwarming story made you smile, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for many more interesting and inspiring stories just like this one. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Stories like Nova's remind us that small acts of kindness can lead to the most amazing outcomes. When we spread these stories, we spread hope, compassion, and awareness that there's still so much good in the world. Thank you for listening. And remember, you never know when your own act of kindness might change someone's life forever.